That's one thing when we're building the app, we've got the different levels of people using the app, and people want it tough or more robust. Some people want it very simple. We've also got international things we need to deal with, and international rulings and things that keep coming up. So there's a lot we need to keep up with, but anybody with any boat can utilize BoatBox.
I own a house in Rancho Cucamonga, and I, there's the sewer people, we have there's the, big, what is that called? The big sewer thing that, whatever, for the drainage of the whole house and everything. Yep. And, like, I don't remember when we got it last. I'm checking my notes. I'm checking I'm trying to figure out, like, when did we get that done last? I don't even know. It could be like freaking overflowing, and I don't even know. But if I had an app that everything is just in there seamlessly going, okay, you got to do this on this date. This is your follow-up date. This is when you have to have this, boom, boom, boom. And then it just makes your life, I don't know. For me, I love technology when it makes my life easier. I don't like when it's too complicated. I mean, the reason why I have an Apple phone is because if I buy a new phone, they just seamlessly put all the information right over. There's no mess up. I mean, same information goes over there, and you just start brand new right up again.
Right.
But for me, technology, I mean, even like with AI, I mean, I use ChatGPT all the time to make my life simpler. So anything that can make my life simpler, I'm willing to pay for it.
Excellent. So now we need to get you a boat so you can have BoatBot.
There you go. I know. I need to get a boat. And so, okay. So you were saying something, I was reading something about like geofencing and why that's important to like security. What does that all mean?
Yes. So your boat is geofenced. Let's use Happy Place as an example. Happy Place has been geofenced. I put in a service order for whatever that request is. A technician comes, they enter my barrier, and it breaks the geofence. It literally pulls up on that phone, on his phone, the technician says, "Hi, welcome to Happy Place. Here's your service order. Here's all the information you need, how to get into the boat, how to do this, how to do this. All the checklist items. These are the 10 things we need completed." Oftentimes there's something of a not lazy mentality, but we'll get it done. And there might be 3 things that they accomplish and they consider the job done versus the 10 you need. This happens everywhere. And that geofence then, once they leave, says, "Hold on, Daniel, you still need to do these 3 items," catches them so they can't get lost. And then they complete that geofence or that checklist. Then it notifies you as the owner and says, "This person's completed the order, all is finished. Here's the results. Here's any photos you might need. And here's the invoice." And you can literally just click and pay and done. So all the communication back and forth on this is done. Is anybody still on my boat? That goes away. And the billables and payables is instant, and it goes directly into their QuickBooks and banking systems.
And it's all trackable now too, right?
Trackable.
I mean, it's all trackable. So you kind of, if the guy's like, "Oh, you didn't pay me," or "I didn't get the money," or something happened, you're like, "Hey, it's right in my system right here. Boom, I paid you on this day. This is it." You're able to send them a screenshot. And now you just saved your time, saved hours and hours of your time trying to find things and trying to fix things. And so, and then you guys did this thing that sounded kind of interesting called Boat Facts. What's that? What is that?
That is the service history. So it's just like Carfax. So right now, when you buy a boat, typically what you see is what either the seller wants to tell you about or what hit insurance. And that's not always everything that's happened to this boat. That won't tell you if the generator has kicked out 5 different times. That won't tell you small things that have happened that they were able to fix along the way that could become big issues in the future, but they want to make the sale. So Boat Facts is exactly like it says. It's all of the facts, all of the service history. So you can see, hey, that generator's got some issues. Okay, not going to stop me from the sale, but I know to be watching out for that versus just blindly walking in and all of a sudden having an issue with the generator.
So you, I think you just took a trip, right? Where did you go? Did you go to Italy recently?
We did.
How was that? And how was your boating experience? Because I think I saw you on a boat. How was that?
You did. We had so much fun the first day on a boat. We took another boat out the second day with a bigger crowd of people. It was absolutely phenomenal. Weather was perfect, late May, or late June, absolutely perfect out there.
And so I mean, are the boats different out in other countries, or is it kind of like I mean, can the people in Italy buy this app, and would it work for them too?
Yes, sir. And that's one thing when we're building the app, we've got the different levels of people using the app, and people want it tough or more robust. Some people want it very simple. We've also got international things we need to deal with, and international rulings and things that keep coming up. So there's a lot we need to keep up with, but anybody with any boat can utilize BoatBots.
I love it. Tell me about Boat Vitals. I know that's kind of another little thing that's pretty significant.
Excellent. Boat Vitals is fantastic. It is predictive maintenance for your boat. So just like on a car, you may have your, let's say your 5,000 mile service, your 30,000 mile service, all of those. Boats don't necessarily have all that information because they have not only hours that you're using the boat, but time that the boat's sitting in the water if you're not using it. So we track everything, each different component of the boat, all of your engines, your generator, your water maker, anything you want to track, you can build your own in there. It's tracking not only hours on a calendar, but hours that you're on the boat and the usage, and is creating a variable there, which goes along with the standards in the industry of when you need to have those components serviced. And it's predictive. So it'll give you a heads up. Hey, this is going to be due in 30 days. This is going to be due in 15 days. Here's your alert. And then you can get that scheduled with your service provider. Nothing else out there exists like this.
It's just not available. I mean, so if you have a boat, I mean, multi-million-dollar boat, and you got to figure this crap out yourself.
Exactly.
I mean, this is it. You're on your own. I mean, I just.
Or you hire a manager, and that's a lot of money, and a lot of people don't want that.
Absolutely. Yeah. You just spent millions of dollars on a boat, and you want to go spend another, $50,000 a year to, pay somebody every single month to manage your boat when it's just sitting there. And there's a large bulk of time is the boat is just sitting there. So to spend that kind of money when you could have a boat bot where it just runs, it's kind of like it's your manager of your boat on your phone or on your computer or whatever, right? So yeah, that's pretty badass. I mean, I'm pretty impressed, Marianne. I mean, this is pretty amazing technology. And what a great, because I always tell people all the time, man, you find a problem, find a solution. That's how you become successful, and obviously you and your husband have been very, very successful in your life. I mean, I want to kind of, because you're entrepreneurs. You've always been entrepreneurs. You build businesses but there's a lot of entrepreneurs right now watching the podcast or listening to the podcast. And what sort of advice could you give from just a standpoint of, hey, we've been entrepreneurs for a long time, been very, very successful. What are some of the pieces of advice that you would give those people out there that want to become successful entrepreneurs?
I'd say a couple of things. One, be patient. If they are entrepreneurs and they truly want this, they're probably type A, aggressive, ready to go types of people like yourself and myself. You got to be patient. It's not going to happen overnight. There's no way. And things don't always go as planned. So you've got to be ready to pivot at any given moment. And that's really essential. And then I would say, take a look at some companies that aren't necessarily in the industry you're in, but do what you want. For our case, not at all in the boating world, Uber is a big example of what we want to accomplish. They brought in, it's a whole new industry. They brought in a ride share, which no one had ever heard of. Anybody only knew taxis. And they made it easy for people to get from point A to point B. That's it. And made it very affordable, made it super simple on an app, and it became something everyone adopted. And that's literally what we want to accomplish. Boating, we want to make it easy and simple, go from point A to point B and have fun doing it. There's still a lot of maintenance, but let's make that process easy for you and get back to the fun of it. And I think they're a good example. Amazon's a great example. There's some out there that have really figured things out, so you don't always have to start from scratch. It's easier to edit than create, to be honest.
And do you think that typical entrepreneurs are, I mean, are they just more of risk takers? I mean, do you have to have like kind of something inside of you that is willing to take a risk with things that, because look, most people don't start because they're afraid of failing.
Yes.
They just never begin, So what's your experience with that?
You got to be ready to fail. I mean, you've got to fail over and over, or you're never going to build up the chops to get it done. And in our case, it was a case of we both had the drive. And there are times that I'll look at him and my husband David, and he'll look at me, and it's like, come on, we have to motivate each other. Because it's certainly times that you wake up and you're like, I don't know if I can do this today. But there's also times, I mean, a couple nights ago, I went to sleep at 2:30 in the morning, and as I was walking down the hall, he was getting up to go to work. So you got to be willing to put the hours in and know it's not easy. And if it was easy, everyone would do it. And there's so many people out there that think, oh man, my boss is making so much money, or my company's making so much money off of me, I can do this on my own. It's not that easy. And especially when you're responsible for other people's payroll and them putting food on the table for their family, that you need to get to know. You can't just rely on the person working for you, because if they don't have the support of those at home, they're not going to be able to provide what you need them to provide. So there's a lot to it, and you've got to have the drive to get you through the tough times, and you've got to have the desire to really stick it out and make it happen. But once you do, it's amazing. Amazing.
If you like this video and you want to watch another one, click right here. If you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.